Do you have something inspiring to say? Have you always known that your voice can contribute to the world? Is now the time? Yes, now is the time. The world is waiting for you. Welcome to the Inspired Choices Network Open Mic Spotlight Show. Today, we have an inspiring guest who is ready to share their voice with the world. Now, onto the show.
Welcome everybody to the Open Mic Spotlight. I don't know about y'all, but I just jam on that music. It just makes me so happy to get to hear it as the intro to each of these shows. I am Rhonda Burns, your host for the next hour, and I have another amazing contestant that entered the Inspired Choices Network, win a radio show for 3 months contest that we ran. Today, we are going to be talking to Mary Baird. And let me just tell you a little bit about Mary, and then I'll bring her on. Mary is a gifted empath, devoted access bars practitioner, and facilitator of magic. Oh, yeah, baby. There is an easy way to find your own brand of joy and happiness with Mary Baird. She's your bridge to less anxiety, deeper self-connection, and a reframing of your own points of view and limitations. Her clients rave about her approach to well-being. You'll discover a gentle way to unlock what is already intrinsically yours when you spend time with Mary. Believing that we all hold the magic to clear energy blocks at the speed of space, she's always ready to share her knowledge in an unconventional and playful way. That's what I like to hear. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here.
Yay! Happy Friday!
Yay.
Friday to you, too.
Yeah, happy
Nice.
Friday to you, too.
Oh, absolutely. What part of the world are you calling in from?
I am calling in from snowy Salt Lake City, Utah.
Ah, nice. A little bit west of me. I'm in the central time zone. Very good. Well, how about we introduce the listeners to you and your own brand of magic and what you're about? I would love to just dive right in if that's cool with you.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. So I know what your proposed radio show would be called if you were to win it, but would you let the listeners know?
Sure. So my radio show, the title of it is The Empath's Guide to the Universe.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I love it. So
what does that mean?
Well, it makes me giggle because I, too, am an empath. And so I love all things. We talk about empathy and empaths and empathetic capacities. And my question to you would be, for those who may not be aware of what an empath is and what that encompasses, and then, so just tell us a little bit more about that title and what that means to you and why it's important to you. How about that?
Okay, so first of all, we'll go, what is an empath? So an empath is somebody that is sensitive to other people's emotions, or sometimes they have a hard time being in a group of people or in a crowd, or sometimes they suffer from a lot of anxiety, even though nothing's going on in their life cause anxiety. So if you're overly sensitive, or if you feel like you're at the effect of a crowd or something like that, then I've learned some tools that really help navigate this crazy world, and I want to share those things. So
nice. For
those sensitive people, because I was an overly sensitive child, I would go hide under my bed than deal with people. So I don't have to do that anymore.
Awesome. And I do know for a fact there are probably way more empathic people on the planet than they may realize. And again, it's until we get the definitions and the skill set and the tools to understand how we're made. So brilliant title to a potential show and brilliant body of work. Yeah, so I'm excited for you. And for those listening, you're welcome. So tell us a little bit about you and your background. Like I always like to learn about people and where they come from and how they got to here. So would you do that for us?
Well, I have been on the new thought path for probably since I was 15. So I read everything. Like the very first book I ever read was Chop Wood, Carry Water. I was probably 18 when I finally got that book. And that kind of led me on this path. And I was always seeking more and seeking greater and seeking more and seeking greater. And I spent a lot of time with the Center for Spiritual Living, the law of attraction kind of thing. And then I went to a spiritual retreat, okay? A spiritual retreat where you're supposed to actually feel good, I thought. And, yeah. So it was a 3-day retreat at one of my favorite places in the world. And we go there, and there's 25 people doing a rage process. And I'm an empath, and I feel everything. I felt everything they felt. I felt everything their lineage felt. It was like, it was the most horrendous experience. And I was burned. Like, I couldn't even cry anymore. It felt like I was scalded from the inside out. I came home, and all I could do was go to sleep and go to work. I'd go to work, try to get through my job, come home, go to sleep, go to work. And then one day I went to a networking meeting. And one of my friends, dear friends, Erica Workman, she put her hands on my head for less than 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, my God, what did you just do to me? I have to have this. And that was, she held my implant band and kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm, which are the access bars. And then that's October, November, I'm like, I need your class. So I took her class, and that's 2 years ago. And from there, it's just my whole entire life has opened up, and I've never been happier. It's been so incredible. I mean, like, there's so
terrible. You've never been terrible.
I know, it's awful. It's so bad. Don't be happy. I look at pictures from like 4 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is anymore, because I can see how at the effect of the world I was, instead of actually having my own energetic signature impact my life and not being at the effect of the world. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so for anyone who may not be aware of the access bars, so literally what I'm kind of hearing, because I too am aware, sensitive, is, what do you mean somebody can touch your head and all of that kind of just disappears or goes away? So give a little flavor of access bars, because that was a huge tool and turning pivot point for you. And what has your experience been with the use of that particular tool?
So the access bars, and you can find more about it on accessconsciousness.com, it is holding 32 points on your head, and it's actually like defragging and deleting the cookies off your computer. It just clears your head. And for me, I had, and I'll tell you something that's really recent, I had a misunderstanding happen with Emma's dad, and it was a misunderstanding. Part of it wasn't, but part of it was a huge misunderstanding. And I stopped for a minute. I'm like, Mary, you're really being irrational. What's going on here, and what's right about this you're not getting, and what are you doing? And because I like to self-reflect, I'm like, oh, I'm being irrational. So I called my friend. I said, can you come run my bars? Because I have to have this relationship, and I'm going to blow it up right now. So will you please come run my bars? And so instead of choosing from this high emotional, irrational place, I got my bars ran, and then it gives me some clarity to say, okay, what was really important about this situation, and what do I want to happen in the future, and now how can we go forward? And I was able to do that without having a highly charged, dramatic, emotional event, because I don't want that. That's not what I choose for me or my daughter.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing, and I want to just say the world seems to be conditioned to do things, right, to go into the eye of the storm and into the chaos and into the irrationality and take it head on. And what you just painted a picture for us was the path of, as Abraham says, least resistance, right? You laid down, you let somebody touch your head, and you created the space and ease to then look at it without any charge. Like that, I'll take a world like that, please.
Right?
That's amazing.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Because
brilliant.
I choose joy, and I choose happiness, and my little girl just turned 1, and I really want her to have a different set of tools. And and to create more and to create better for the future and for now, because, how much fun is it to be in a highly dramatic, stressful situation? It's not fun for me at all. I hate it.
I don't think it's fun for anybody. I know. I hate it.
I sit in the corner, right? I sit in the corner and hold my head, because it feels like it's going to pop off. I'm like, and that's why I said, it's like, okay, I need to step back. You need to go. I need some space. I've got to get okay again, so we can really figure this out. Nice. And what does that do for our relationship? I could have messed it up. I could have blown it up because I'm good at it. I can, I know exactly how. But that doesn't create more for my little girl. She requires that relationship. And if he wasn't such a good guy, because he's amazing for her dad, not for me, but for her dad. If he wasn't such a good guy, it would be easier. But he's an amazing man, and he's great for her. So I'm going to do everything I can to keep that and make that work for us.
Brilliant. Beautiful. There's a question in the chat room. How did he react when you said that? So did you say out loud to him, I'm being irrational, or was that just conversation with yourself?
So what I told him, and he doesn't get what I do, but he gets how it helps me. And so
cool.
I actually told him, I said, you need to go. And for him to go, it scares him because then he thinks it's a break and we're done and there's no way to repair it. We have different communication styles. He wants to push and solve, and I need some space to look at it. And I said, what I told him was, I'm going to get my bars run so I quit. So we can plan the Christmas and I can make a rational decision. And he says, sweet, he's like, oh yeah, please go do that. Or cool. Even and before, if we were in that situation, and he was defensive because he would have asked me, when did you get your bars ran last? He would have asked me that because he knows that I am more rational. Like I have more clarity when I have that happen for me. And it doesn't work for him. He's never let me do it. He doesn't understand it or whatever. He has his own thing. But he sees how it helps me and how it works for us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful tool when you use it, and not only does your personal life get better, but everybody around you does too. Like, that's a win-win in my book.
Exactly. And for people in the U.S., Christmas time is crazy. Everybody's in a frenzy. There's the traffic's nuts. The mall is packed, and it's this huge, huge frenzy around Christmas time. And I didn't want my family to be a part of that.
Good for you. Yeah, because that's not what it's about. It's
not. It's not at all. And I don't want my life to be that. So I got my bars ran, and I said, okay, this is what we can do for this, and this. This part I haven't decided yet, but we'll talk about it. So
brilliant.
Yeah, how much ease is that? And that's what it gives me, is ease.
So anybody out there listening that wants more ease, what tool, what modality, what can you acquire or add to your day to make that part of your reality, right?
Right.
I love it.
Access bars or meditation or music, whatever is going to work for you so you can approach your life in a way that has more ease and peace and grace in it.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I love it. Well, listen, Miss Mary, I call people Missy. That's not your name. That's a lovey term that I use. But Mary,
honey,
I'm going to let
you're
folks.
From Texas.
I am.
You're from Texas. I get it.
We do those pet names. I do pet names a lot. So I'm going to give folks a breather. We're going to go on break, but I have so many questions for you so that the listeners can continue to get to know you. So I'm going to ask everybody to stay tuned. You're listening to the Open Mic Spotlight. Here, I'm Rhonda Burns. We're talking today with Mary Baird, one of our amazing contestants here on the Inspired Choices Network, the contest that we're running. She may potentially win a host of her own radio show. So please stay tuned. We will be right back.
Do you have something inspiring to say? Would you like a taste of being one of our inspired hosts? Get on the air on the Inspired Choices Network Open Mic Spotlight Show. The Open Mic Spotlight Show is your time to shine and inspire our global audience. Shows air at 9 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week. Claim your spot today. Simply contact our network owner at info@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Forget the days of 5 minutes of fame. Now you can have 55 minutes of fame.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
You are listening to the Open Mic Spotlight Show here on Inspired Choices Network. To call in and ask questions, call 815-880-8255 in the U.S., 613-800-8736 in Canada, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. You are tuned in to the Open Mic Spotlight here on the Inspired Choices Network, and we, as you may know, hopefully know by now, we are running we ran a contest, and we are talking to 9 of our semifinalists on these Open Mic Spotlights. And today I've got Mary Baird with me, and we're going to continue to get to know Mary a little bit. And I want to encourage any of you listening now or in the future, please let your potential hosts know how you enjoyed the show. You can do that by going to Facebook, coming on over to the Inspired Choices Network page, and interacting with them there, as well as the replays come out. Those are posted, and we would love to hear your feedback. So cheer them on. They're doing a fantastic job showing up and sharing what they're here to impart and be and to contribute. So with that, Mary, I'd love to know the craziest thing you've ever done.
Oh my gosh, the craziest thing I've ever done? Well, you know, I'm really lucky I grew up in a time before Facebook.
Me too.
So one of the things that my friends and I used to do, and we would go have a few beers, and then we would drive out west and drive up all this mountain pass, and out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not talking city places, folk. You know, we drive out to the middle of nowhere, and we're on top of Johnson's Pass, and we're laying in the middle of the road and just looking at the stars. You know, the thing about that place is you can hear a car coming. And so when the car, you know, you can hear a truck rumbling up over the pass. So we're like, oh, there's a car. Hurry, get out of the road.
That's awesome. That sounds like something I'd try.
You know, so we drive out, got the car open, got the music blaring, you know, poor animals out there, because we were in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, we called our road games, and we would just go out and talk about life and the world and lay on our back and look up at the stars and really get a feel for how small we really are, and it really put things into perspective that, you know, some of our problems, we make them so big, and really, they're not.
Yeah, so
Sandy.
We're not going to. It's amazing,
Sandy's,
the chatter in the chat box.
Sandy's one of my friends from the chat. I used to go do that with, so she knows. She knows exactly what that is.
So we're going to encourage listeners: don't necessarily go lay on the roads, but take your butt out into nature, out into wide open spaces, and see what shifts. I'm telling you, there's something about those wide open spaces that definitely does it for us.
It's the West Desert out here, and that's really one of the things we did, and I live in the city now, and so there's a lot of light pollution, so I miss that, and I have to make time to have that, because that was one of the things I missed was the stars when I moved. So.
Oh, amazing. Well, that leads into a question that I actually had, so why don't we just go there? So what type things do you do to rejuvenate and to, recharge your batteries, besides the bars and going out into nature?
Music works really good for me. And I was working with my headset this morning and pulled up an old playlist on my computer. If you want to know how far you've come, go pull an old playlist. If you're playing the same songs you played 10 years ago, there might be a problem. But I pulled an old playlist and I'm like, oh my God, I was so sad. I'm like, wow, this is terrible. I can't even stand this song. What is this? It was awful. So, that's one of the things I really, I love music. That's one of the things that I really enjoy. Live music, going to a concert, dancing, moving my body. Those are all things that really, singing. I was a karaoke host for years. I love to sing. So those are the things that I do.
Oh, I love it. Those are great ones. And they're easy, right? They don't cost anything. So I love write them down, people. Take note.
Speak for yourself.
There's no reason to be unhappy.
No, it's a choice. You can be unhappy. It's okay. It's a choice. Just keep your unhappy over there, because I'm got a different program.
Right. Don't bleed into my end of the pool over here, because I got, exactly. Oh, my goodness. So let me shift gears a little bit. This might be a little bit heavier question, but I think it's definitely a really important one. So if there is anything that you could change about the world, what would that be?
Anything I could change about the world. As people, we are often so mean and so judgmental to others. And if I could change the world, no, I change the world anyway, but if I could change the world, I would love to infuse it with kindness. I would love to infuse it with kindness. And because if we are all striving to be kinder and for the greater good, then we would contribute to everybody and everyone would contribute back. And so what would it be like if the world was infused with kindness?
Amen. That just makes me sigh really deeply. I'm just, the world and the I don't know about you, but the unkindness really starts right from within. So people are unkind to others because they're really unkind and unhappy with themselves, and it's just projected outward. So I agree with that. Kindness is definitely a big one.
Yeah, and I one of the classes I taught was about self-love, and I quoted the Bible. The Bible says, "Love your neighbor as you would love yourself." But I saw it the way you love yourself, and I don't want you to love me like that.
Right? There's a lot of that. I'm down here in the Bible Belt. Let me tell you, we won't go there.
I know, and really, I see the way you love you. And there's a multi-billion dollar industries built on you're not perfect. So that's really, if people could just understand and see the beauty of themselves and how they contribute to other people. That's what I work on every day, Rhonda.
Yes. I love that. So, God, you just keep teeing it up. Like, my next question that I literally just wrote down for you is, what's your favorite part of the work that you do? You're just leading me along. Keep it up, sister. Keep it up.
I love to see the people that I've worked with step into greater. To step into greater and to step into owning their voice and who they are. I had a really nice compliment, and I get a little emotional, and I'm okay with that. But I had a really nice compliment from one of my friends that did a video, and she said, "Thank you for helping me work through this." And we've been working for a while, and she said, "I've really got to own my voice." And how beautiful is that? I really got to own my voice. That's your voice and you came with it, so why wouldn't you be able to own it? And so I'm so glad you get that right now.
Oh, yes. Well, we're all about voices around here. I mean, we're the Freaking Inspired Choices Network, bringing conscious voices to the world. We want people to own their voices, so amen. Oh, that's so good. Oh, my gosh. So let me tack on to that then, Mary. What inspires you?
People inspire me. When I see greatness, when I see people doing what they say they want to do, or making a change, Dane here, Megan Solito, Glenise Hughes, that they inspire me. If I'm having a day, or and any of the other people on Inspired Choices Network, if I'm having a day, or if I can't get my bars ran, I go through and look at the archive and say, okay, hey archive, what would benefit me the most today? And I run my finger over, and wherever it stops, I hit play. And it's that.
Nice.
So people inspire me. Art. I love art. I love beauty, in the world, and I love seeing people channel their creativity and bring it into form. And again, music. Music inspires me. I was listening to some stuff this morning. I'm like, oh God, I forgot I had that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, music changes everything. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Right. And there's a whole lot of inspiration in the chat room. I mean, there's some love for you if you haven't looked in the chat room since we've been chatting. There's a whole lot of love going on. I love it. So good.
Rena, you're on, Rena.
Oh, my goodness. So speaking of the chat room, I don't know if I invited folks at the top of the hour, but you can come over, to the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Click on chat room. It's a link at the top, and you can put a nickname or your real name in. Come backstage. That is where we interact with the host and with other chat roomers, and you can ask questions and give feedback. And it is a super fun party. So if you have not joined us, get your butt over here. We're having an amazing conversation with Mary Baird today.
So much fun. And I love you, too, by the way.
Well, I will receive that and right back at you. Thank you so much. There's a whole lot of love here. I'm telling you. That's what I so appreciate about this network and the people that show up. It truly is the kingdom of we. And the more of that we can all just be and infuse and lock arms and open hearts and just spew it all over the world, that's what I'm up for.
Well, and that's what it's about. It's about community. We in Salt Lake City, the world may think it's full of Mormon and it's kind of staunchy here, but we really have an amazing community of people that have come together and that want to change the world and that are actively doing things to do that. And I'm so grateful every day that if I need something, if I'm kind of feeling a little wonky, I have people, I have community.
Oh,
and they are cheering me on. Yeah, and they are cheering me on.
I love that.
So that's what I like. That. So, yeah. So how much bigger can we make that, Rhonda? Yeah, let's make it bigger.
Let's blow it up. Let's go now. Come on. Oh, my gosh. But before we do that, we're going to take another break.
I don't like to blow it up, though. I don't like to blow it up. I like to expand it. It's different. Feel it?
Yeah. There is a very different energy.
I want to expand it. Yeah. So that's me. Okay.
I love it. All right, friends. We're going to take another breather and let you just simmer in all this love and light and positivity. It's so good. You're listening to the Open Mic Spotlight. I'm Rhonda Burns, interviewing today one of our amazing contestants, Mary Baird, and we are going to be back after this commercial break, so stay tuned.
Do you have something inspiring to say? Would you like a taste of being one of our inspired hosts? Get on the air on the Inspired Choices Network Open Mic Spotlight Show. The Open Mic Spotlight Show is your time to shine and inspire our global audience. Shows air at 9 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week. Claim your spot today. Simply contact our network owner at info@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Forget the days of 5 minutes of fame. Now you can have 55 minutes of fame.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
You are listening to the Open Mic Spotlight Show here on Inspired Choices Network. To call in and ask questions, call 815-880-8255 in the U.S., 613-800-8736 in Canada, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the show.
We are back to the show. This is Rhonda Burns. It's the Open Mic Spotlight. I am talking to Mary Baird today, and I'm having a dang good time. How about you?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. If I ain't having fun, I don't want to do it.
That's my mantra. Like, if it ain't fun, I'm not choosing it. And if I need if that needs to get done, I got to get into the space for it to be fun.
Yeah, and if I have to do it, how much fun can I have doing it? That's the question.
There you go.
Like,
that's a great one.
How much fun is this going to be? That.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my gosh. So let's continue on letting folks just know you. And I know people can feel you. They can feel what you're about. I can feel all the empaths tuned in. It's so good. So I want to ask you, when was the last time you felt really super uncomfortable? And what did you do about it?
In public or in personal life? Like,
it matters not.
Felt really okay, so Sunday night, I was having a thing with the baby daddy, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I could see what it would take for me to get some space. I could see it. I didn't want to do it that way, but I knew exactly what would work. So I did it that way. The other thing is in public, like I said, it feels crazy right now with the world, everyone, the mall's a mess and all of that. And one of the things I do in public, because if you've ever seen me in public, I used to sit at the back of the room closest to the door so I could get away. I can't sit in the middle of a group. I would always sit on the edges so I could escape if I needed to,
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned to do, which has been really, really good for me, is to drop my barriers. Because if I have my walls up, if I have my barriers up, then everything everybody else is feeling is going to stick to me. And then I become a poo magnet. And I don't want their poo. And one of the things I did, and I have a podcast, and it's podbean.marybaird.com. And on my podcast, I explained about, I'm hardwired for doubt, and I'm hardwired for pain based on my upbringing. And really, I'm done with that. I don't have time for it. I've got other things to do, and I choose joy, and I choose happiness, and I choose laughter and that kind of thing. So if I'm going to be an empath, I get to choose, and I get to choose what I feel. So instead of feeling your discomfort, I'm going to tap into your joy instead. And let's make that bigger. If I'm going to amplify any emotion, why wouldn't it be happiness?
It's a very different perspective, right? Oh, that's amazing. We, instead of tapping into other people's shite, we tap into their magic.
We get to choose.
We get to choose. There's that novel concept.
Wow.
Choice. Oh, my goodness. And you said it. And not just you, Mary. Like, we as a society are hardwired for doubt. I was talking to somebody about that very subject just earlier today. And so it really is about reprogramming yourself to focus on the things that feel good, right? And to choose what would make you happier. So you've obviously been doing a great job of that, and that's what you're teaching and sharing and imparting. So you mentioned barriers, and I know this tool, but I would like for anybody who's wouldn't be aware of what you're talking about, you want to take us through a little, like, either explanation of what that is or how to drop them, what that might be like. Actually show us your magic. Yeah.
Ooh, and then ask me
oh, wait, don't do that.
About magic. I had an offline question last night about someone that can't join in the chat room that asked me a question about magic. So we'll tap that for a minute. So, and I did this in class, and it's really, okay. And this is audio, but I still want you to get it. I'm going to put every single wall I ever had up. I'm going to put every wall up. All of a sudden, Rhonda, you don't want to talk to me anymore, do you? My voice changed.
Different. Yeah,
it feels different.
It's like, yeah,
I'm guarded. I'm unapproachable. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like heavy on my chest. It's like,
right? So, do you feel it shift? Do you feel it change? Because you're sensitive that way. But for somebody listening that's not familiar with that, when you have your walls up and you think you're guarding yourself, from whatever pain could happen to you, what you're doing is you're actually locking the pain in your body that you've already experienced. Mm-hmm. And you're locking yourself away from any contribution of anybody giving to you. And dropping barriers is a place of vulnerability, which feels really scary when you first start using the tool, or at least it was for me. Really. Mm-hmm. It was scary for me because I didn't want to let anybody in. I didn't want to feel everything. But what happens when I drop my barriers is I don't. Because when you open the door, can anything stick to it? It just passes right through. It's brilliant. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this, I would ask you, would you be willing to drop your barriers? And just ask them. You don't have to know what it is or what they are. Just say, hey, barriers, will you go down? And then will you drop your hidden barriers? And will you drop the barriers you're hiding that you think I don't know about? Will you drop those ones as well? And expand out. And from this place, now do you want to have a conversation, Rhonda?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm very relaxed. My body is very relaxed. I'm leaning back. I'm like, yeah, here we are. Just shooting the breeze. So it's
I'm back,
friends. Yeah, she's back, right? And I love that. Oh, I love playing with barriers. It's one of my tools as well. And so I always like to give people a little taste of it so that they can potentially start to really maybe pursue more of learning about it and playing with it and experiencing that for themselves, because barriers is a biggie in the world. So you definitely have a capacity with helping people sense barriers and hidden barriers, etc. So I definitely want to thank you for sharing that little flavor with us.
And then I had a question. I have a friend, Elfie Joe. She's got a radio show.
Yeah, she's got her own show.
Yeah, she's got her own show here, and she's in China. And she said, "I'm sorry, I can't make your show. It's going to be 2 a.m. here in China. But my question for you is, what is your favorite kind of magic?"
Great question. Please tell us.
I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much. Where do I start? Da 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 da. And then I thought, I'm going to give a really practical one. One of the ones, and I use it all the time, and it's my finder magic. So it's, hey, if I were my car keys, where would they be? I had a coworker, and she's getting ready, and she's having to go to court with her ex, and she's got this journal that she's kept everything in, and she hid it so her kids wouldn't read it. She didn't want them to be hurt by it, and she needed it to go see her lawyer. And I said, hey, have you asked it where it is? And she looks at me like I'm weird, because I am a little, and I'm okay with that. But I just said, if you were your journal, where would you be? Because we get distracted, or we put things in a safe place and then, get busy or forget. And so I love that. I love finder magic. If I were my car keys, where would I be?
You know,
or whatever
I love
it is
that.
you're looking.
That just had me look and acknowledge a capacity of mine that I had never acknowledged. I have always been the finder of everything in my family. Like, I'm the one. So I'm like, holy shit, I hadn't thought about that before. That's awesome.
You didn't know how magic you were, you know?
I do in some areas, but that was one I hadn't considered. So thank you very much for the question.
Like this morning, I was looking for Emma's jacket, and I'm like, I know, I just had it. I just, and I thought I put it in her drawer, and I didn't. And I'm like, all right. And I went and looked for it, couldn't find it, came back and did something else. And I said, okay, if I was that jacket, where would I be? And I went right to it. In like 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, here it is. Here I am. Because it does what it does.
Deducing my stuff. Yeah. I'm like, hey, baby. You know you want to come
back
to me.
Baby.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Whatever works for you, people. Whatever works.
Yeah, you're gonna. And that's just it. It's whatever works for you. This may work for me, and you may need to modify it to fit you and your situation because we are all so different.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. Oh my gosh. So before I make us take our final break, I would love to hear if you could design your perfect or ideal day. What would that look and feel and be like for you?
My perfect ideal day. Well, it starts with coffee and no one talking to me while I drink it.
Total silence. Got it.
Unless you're 1 year old and adorable. That's the only one. And there's so many things. So I was thinking my perfect day would be like, I'm going to have some coffee and hang out with Emma, and I'm going to go get on a plane and go take a class somewhere. That just sounds fun.
Nice. One possibility. Absolutely.
Or go and play with my friends and walk into a room where we're all gifting and receiving and sharing our magics with each other.
Yummy. Beautiful.
And then, and then add music and sunlight and yeah, that would be great. Water,
Cool. Do you have a favorite place in the world that you like to travel to? Like it's your respite that if you could go there every time you could, you would?
So did you just look into my head and see me standing on the beach?
Maybe.
There's something I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then you're like, where do you want to be? I'm like, oh, creeper.
Yeah, I'm not magic at all.
Me, no, I love that. That's what I love to see your magic too. So yeah, for me, I love the beach and the ocean, and I also love the red rock of southern Utah. And it's similar to the ocean because there's something about it that it's like calming for me. It like shuts out the background noise. And it's really peaceful, and in the mountains as well. But I seem to resonate more in the desert than I do in the mountains. But it's really, like I said, it cuts out the static and the chatter, and it gives me space to be me. And I didn't have a lot of that growing up. So when I was down in the Red Rock, I could breathe because I didn't need to have, there's the rock. I don't know what it does, but it's magic for me. So yeah, the red rocks of southern Utah and then any beach ocean combination is good for me.
Brilliant. Thank you. So I just want to point out for the listeners, and especially for you highly sensitive empaths, etc., Mary's been threading through this entire conversation amazing tools that you could be implementing and utilizing for yourself to ensure that you have way more ease and joy with your life. And so, yes, environment is crucial, especially for empaths and sensitives. So thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'm a beach. That's one of my favorite spots too.
Yeah. Environment. I want to just tap into that just a little bit. You speak of environment, and I'm really picky about my environment and who I let into my home and my life because of that. So that's another thing too, is I'm very selective of the people I spend time with.
Yeah. Yeah. Be very discerning and very, beautiful. Excellent. Couldn't have said it better. And with that, I am going to take us out to our final break, and then we will wrap up this amazing open mic spotlight with Mary Baird today, one of our semi-finalists in the contest here on Inspired Choices Network. So, Mary, if you'll stick around, I'll stick around. Listeners, you stick around. We'll be right back.
I can hang out for a few more minutes.
Awesome.
Do you have something inspiring to say? Would you like a taste of being one of our inspired hosts? Get on the air on the Inspired Choices Network Open Mic Spotlight Show. The Open Mic Spotlight Show is your time to shine and inspire our global audience. Shows air at 9 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week. Claim your spot today. Simply contact our network owner at info@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Forget the days of 5 minutes of fame. Now you can have 55 minutes of fame.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
You are listening to the Open Mic Spotlight Show here on Inspired Choices Network. To call in and ask questions, call 815-880-8255 in the U.S., 613-800-8736 in Canada, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the final minute. Sometimes I talk. Sometimes I get lucky. Of the Open Mic Spotlight. I am Rhonda Burns talking today with Mary Baird, and I am just loving the camaraderie in the chat room and the connection that all the contestants, you guys are making. Like, I don't know how I got so freaking lucky, but I'll have way more of this.
Right?
Right? Oh my gosh.
I was just thinking about. I'm sorry, Rhonda. I'm sorry. That's one of my cool things I do. I was just thinking how grateful I am to you guys and to Christine and Inspired Choices Network for giving us a chance to do this and having this contest. So thank you for that. And I get some new friends out of it. So thank you.
Oh, kudos. So welcome. It's been an absolute blast. So we do only have about 6.5 minutes left, and I want to make sure that if you have any last parting words, wisdom, anything you want to lay on the listeners, what would you like for people to know?
Hey, people.
Hey, you.
You listening. You listening into this? Would you acknowledge your own beauty? Because I see it. Would you acknowledge your own magic? Because I feel it. Do you know that you're actually a gift? And I'm so grateful that you're here. And thank you for showing up as you, all of you. That's what I want to say.
That's good stuff. My body's like humming. She's like, yes, thank you, yes. Did y'all feel that? I know I felt it. So that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. So...
Is it over already? What?
Almost. That's the beauty. Like, these shows, when we get in our sweet spot here, they fly by. And, again, these are just teasers. They're tasters, you know. So, with that being said, Mary, because you have teased people and coaxed them into wanting to know more about you, how can people get in touch with you? Where can they find you? How about let's share that.
I have a Facebook page. It is the Empath's Guide to the Universe. I also have a website, and it's empathguide.net, but it's not published yet, so that's coming. So I would say Facebook's probably the best way to get a hold of me, as well as on Access Consciousness. If you go to Facilitators, you can look for my name, Mary Baird, and that's Baird. And that would be my access classes that I have coming up. Also, I am active in the Salt Lake Bars community, and we have bar shares all the time. We have one coming up on the 14th of January, and you will see me there.
Brilliant. So you guys, if you're on Facebook, definitely connect with Mary there. AccessConsciousness.com is the website, and Mary Baird is a facilitator on the facilitators list there. So love it. Oh, my gosh. So do you have any guiding words or mantras that you use on a daily basis or that you're using lately that you would like to share?
Well, I had one I used years ago that came to mind when so years ago, for some reason this came up, somebody needs it. So years ago, I used to smoke, and one of the ways I quit was tastes like crap, smells like crap, tastes like crap, smells like crap. And for some reason that came up. I don't use that right now, and I actually edited for that, so insert the appropriate word. So one of the things, we talked about it, is how much fun can this be? And what would it take, or what's right about this that I'm not getting, and I always ask, what would it take to, one of the things that we've been playing with in our Live Your Magic group is, what would it take to choose to be greater than you were yesterday?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Would you be willing to choose to be greater than you were yesterday? Because really, the only one you can measure or compare yourself to is the you were yesterday. So what would it take for you to be even better than that? Because you're already pretty amazing. We just already talked about that.
Right. So true. And I love it. So, friends, if you didn't catch that, the power of just asking questions, not conclusions with question marks, but actual open-ended, broad stroke questions, they will change your life.
and your relationships. And your relationships. Oh, funny that.
Bonus. Mega bonus. But we don't want to change relationships, do we?
No, because then we couldn't play the I'm more messed up than you are game.
Right? I'm so pathetic. Oh my God.
He was so mean to me.
He looked at me funny. He didn't text me back immediately,
and
right? Like the crazy things
you
do.
I'm tired. Go away.
Oh, my goodness.
So what would it for you to be greater? How can you have more fun in your life? What would it take for you to actually acknowledge the beauty and gift that you are?
Yeah.
Find me on Facebook. Oh, I have a podcast too, so it's on Podbean. You can look for my name. So there is that, and then I actually have an empath audio that I have recorded that has some really good tools. So if you want that, hit me up and I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's amazing. Free gift, y'all. Hook up with Mary and definitely show her love when we post these replays on the network and let her know. Show her love, gratitude. Tell her what you think. We've got, I think you're number 4. We've got 5 more interviews. I am so grateful to have gotten to talk to you today, to let people get a sense of you, for you sharing all of the questions and tools. I'm just so grateful. So thank you for entering the contest. Thank you for being a semi-finalist. Thank you for laying it down on us today. I feel like, I could go have a smoke, and I don't even smoke.
Oh. You're welcome.
Oh, my gosh. So, friends, let me just remind you that Inspired Choices Network, come to our Facebook page. You can come to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. All the open mics are either they have happened or they will happen, and then we'll have all of those up in the archives. We've got over 4,000 hours of programming here. So definitely just keep showing up, keep playing. How much fun, as Mary says, how much fun are you willing to allow your experiences to be, especially in the holiday season? So it's been a blast. Absolutely adored you being here. So I think we're down to the wire here. So how about we just say toodaloo to everybody? How about
And
that?
what would it take for you to have the most magical Christmas you could possibly have? See you
Thank
next
you
time.
for
There you
listening to
go.
the Open Mic Spotlight radio show. We will be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Mountain, and 6 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, continue to create you with joy and inspiration.